There is a moment inside every AI deployment that most organizations never plan for. Not the contract signing, not the go-live date, not even the first unexpected output. It is the moment the system starts taking action without being asked. And most institutions have no framework for what that changes. Right now, the dominant mental model in most boardrooms is this: AI is a tool, powerful but bounded. You point it at a problem, it surfaces answers, a human decides what to do next. Under that model, the risk is manageable. The human is still the last gate. That model is already obsolete. Not in 10 years, now. The shift has a name: Agentic AI, and it does not behave the way most organizations assume. A standard AI system responds: input in, output out, human reviews, human decides. An agentic system acts. It receives a goal, breaks it into steps, executes those steps across platforms and accounts, monitors results, adjusts, and continues, without pausing for human review at each stage. That difference is not technical. It's a governance difference, a liability difference, a control difference. When AI responds, the human owns the decision. When AI acts, that ownership becomes genuinely unclear. Here's what this looks like operationally. A financial services firm gives an agentic AI access to email, scheduling, and client records. Goal: reduce response time. Within weeks, the system is sending communications, reclassifying client segments based on patterns it identified independently, and generating recommendations that staff are acting on without understanding how the system arrived at them. No single action crosses a clear line, but the institution's client strategy is now partially authored by a system nobody fully audits and nobody can easily override without breaking the workflow everyone depends on. Variations of that scenario are running inside organizations today. Before Agentic AI, an error was bounded. Bad output, human catches it, corrected. The blast radius was limited because a human was always the last gate. After Agentic AI, the cost structure changes. The system does not recommend a bad action. It takes one, then the next, then the next. By the time anyone reviews what happened, the chain of consequences is already several decisions deep. Each step appeared reasonable. The aggregate outcome is something no one would have approved up front. Now look at the incentive structure. Every human checkpoint in a workflow is a cost. The commercial case for Agentic AI is almost entirely a case for removing those checkpoints. That's not subtext, it's the sales pitch. What nobody is prominently selling is the accountability gap it creates. When the system makes a consequential error, who is responsible? The vendor? The deploying organization? The team that configured the goals? Current regulatory frameworks, including GDPR, were written around static systems with identifiable decision points. Agentic AI produces chains of micro-decisions. The governance infrastructure hasn't caught up. The systems are already operating. The first wave of AI shifted tasks at the margins. The humans still owned the judgment layer. Agentic AI targets the judgment layer directly. The question is no longer what tasks the system can assist with. It's which decisions the organization is willing to let a system make on economic grounds, and which decisions still require a human, not because the AI can't make them, but because accountability demands it. That question is not being asked openly in most organizations. It's being answered implicitly through procurement decisions and system configurations by teams whose mandate is efficiency, not governance. The transition from AI that assists to AI that acts does not announce itself. Organizations slide between those two states through incremental choices, each reasonable in isolation. By the time leadership recognizes what has changed, the workflows have been rebuilt around the system. Rolling it back is not technically difficult. Operationally, it's nearly impossible. So here's where that leaves most organizations right now. The technical teams are optimizing for capability. Legal is reacting after incidents occur. Leadership is measuring efficiency gains. And the systems are operating in the space where none of those functions have clearly defined jurisdiction over what happens next. The organizations building governance frameworks now will have them before a failure forces the conversation. The ones that aren't will build them after.